Let me introduce my guest, Bob Tillman here, who's here with the camera. He's the president of the Sach Historical Society. Bob sold U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, retired. He's a board member, and I'm also a board member of the Sach Historical Society. We're a partnership with the Department of Defense on this. Let me give you a little background on what the United States of America Vietnam War commemoration is about. In May of 2012, the United States Congress passed public law authorizing the formation of the United States of America Vietnam War commemoration. And what it did was, the purpose of it was to recognize the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War and to recognize the military service of those veterans that served in the Vietnam War or during what's called the Vietnam era. In the Vietnam era, that period of service is if you served in the military from November 1st of 1955 through May 15th of 1975, you are considered a Vietnam era veteran. Now, we recognize there's a lot of little facets to this commemoration, and I'm still learning some of them, even though I've been doing it a couple of years. This program is administered by the Department of Defense, and they do it through what's called commemorative partners. And the commemorative partners basically are military associations, veterans organizations, and like us, the Sach Historical Society. You volunteer to be a commemorative partner, and you have to follow the rules of the Department of Defense for administering this program, which we do. And it requires that we do 2 ceremonies a year. Now, we can keep up with that. There's a little bit to it, but we keep up with it. The goals of this commemoration are to thank and honor the Vietnam War veteran and all the other veterans that served during that period of time. And it's left up to the commemorative partner how we do this. We chose that we give you a certificate, we give you a very personalized certificate, plus the Vietnam pin, plus some other stuff that's given to us. You have a proclamation from the President of the United States. We give you all that stuff. It also includes the family members of Vietnam veterans. Only Vietnam veterans. They're family members of the veteran that's deceased, the war veteran that's deceased, and any missing in action, the family of any missing in action Vietnam veteran who is on the wall. The name must be on the wall, and they verify that, okay? Because their certificates come directly from Washington, D.C. Like I said, that is to thank all the military veterans that served during that period of time, and they have to be living. If they're deceased, the family don't get anything. All right.
What dates again?
It's the dates are May of 19. Let me get it. It's November of 1955 through May of 1975. Okay. Another goal of the thing is to pay tribute to the war. Pay tribute to the wartime contributions given by American citizens, basically with USOs and all those little groups that supported all the veterans during that time. Another goal is to recognize the contributions and sacrifices of our allies that served in Vietnam, which be South Korea, New Zealand, there's a whole bunch of them. And then the final goal of the commemoration is to highlight the technology, science, and medical advances made during the war. And it's all different little facets. Today, we're here to honor the veterans with a presentation of a certificate and a pin, the Vietnam service pin, basically, and recognize their service during the period of 1955 through 1975. So therefore, the United States of America Vietnam War commemoration, in partnership with the Sach Historical Society of Sach, Texas, recognizes the service, the valor, and the sacrifices of the following military veterans. When I call your name, please come up to the front here. This is the flag of the commemoration issued by the Department of Defense. And we will take your picture of us giving you a certificate. I will read your certificate and what information I've been given. And it's going to be during that period of service that you gave me, okay? So, first one is Joe Baker. Bring that, Joe Baker. Staff Sergeant Joseph L. Baker, United States Air Force. His service was October 5th, 1961 to March 31st, 1970. We thank you for your service.
Thank you, B.
John Byron. Airman First Class John R. Byron, United States Air Force Dental Assistance, Foster Air Force Base, Victoria, Texas, November 1954 to November 1962. We thank you for your service. Roger Harvey. You here?
Yeah.
There you are. Captain Roger B. Harvey, United States Army Veterinary Corps. Officer in charge, Veterinary Food Inspection Branch at Fort Snelling, Minnesota, Fort Wainwright, Alaska, Fort Sam Houston, Texas. August of 1969 to June 1973. Thank you for your service. Kenneth Herbst. Major Kenneth D. Herbst. That was a long time. United States Army Medical Corps. Letterman Army Medical Center, the Presidio of San Francisco, California. July 1st, 1972, October 6, 1977. Thank you for your service. Jerry Holton. Staff Sergeant Jerry Holton, United States Army Tank Commander. Company C, 112th Armor of the 49th Armored Division, 1968 to 1973. Thank you for your service. James Markler. Captain James C. Markhorn, United States Army Medical Service Corps. Chief, Social Work Services, Fort Polk, Louisiana, July 11, 1970 to August 10, 1973. Thank you. Robert McMillan. Specialist 5, Robert McMillan, United States Army, 94th General Hospital, Mesquite, Texas, May 1971 to May 1975. Thank you for your service, sir. Jack Peoples.
Jack. Good.
I had even put some of this Private First Class Jack Peoples, United States Army Special Weapons Artillery, September 1957, June 1960. Thank you for your service, sir. Gerald Shreve. You read some of these dates, it really makes me feel young. That's true. Sergeant First Class Gerald L. Shreve, United States Army, Food Service NCO and Advisor, July 1964 to November 1975. Thank you, sir. Harold Solomon. Captain Harold E. Solomon, United States Army Medical Service Corps, 46th Medical Battalion, 4th Armored Division, Federal Republic of Germany, January 1964 to January 1967. Thank you, sir. Sandra Solomon. Since all these Air Force, you all hear all these Air Force people, now they came over to the good side. Captain Sandra S. Solomon, United States Air Force Nurse Corps, Wilford Hall, U.S. Air Force Hospital, San Antonio, Texas, Fairchild U.S. Air Force Hospital, Spokane, Washington, May 1966 to May 1975. Thank you for your service. That's all I have right now. Now, there's several of y'all, we didn't get any information.
Randy.
Okay, I'm gonna just talk a little. You want to talk before I give us more instructions? Several of y'all, I don't have any information, and I know Joe Baker and Beth put this out. If you're a veteran during that time, we'd surely like to honor your service. It don't cost you anything. All you have to do is just give us the information, and we will surely give you what's due. Now, we got like Marla Anderson's here. You know, Andy was her husband, and I served with Andy for several years. And I'll sit with her because we'll get her certificate from Washington, because Andy did serve in Vietnam, so there's a special certificate that comes out of Washington, D.C. for her. If you want us to recognize your service, we will do this again in November in Sach, Texas. We have the day before Memorial Day, we'll have another presentation. If you want to wait till the alumni next year, we can do it then. Whatever, we don't care. We're here to do this. They have between 7 and 9 million Vietnam-era veterans that they're trying to recognize. That's a bunch. So all you have to do is just get me the information. There's some cards I'll leave here up on the table that have all the information for the Saxe Historical Society. If you come to our deal in November, we do a little presentation pretty similar to this, and we even feed you there also. Okay? There's a lot of veterans that come to that. All the pictures of this whole weekend will be on here, the website for the Saxe Historical Society, and you can look at all the pictures and download them and everything else. We also put them on YouTube. Don't we put them on YouTube, Bobby?
Yes.
Okay? Sir?
I'd like our photographers to come up here from the Historic Association. We'd like to give them a cast.
family portrait. Joe, lock the doors. You would probably be wise just to take your name tags off. There won't be any value. The picture will all be retina and facial recognition. Let's just start moving up here. Squeeze a little more. Great.